A very good afternoon to one and all present here. This is Akanksha Mattham.
This is Megha Gop.
Today we feel proud and extremely privileged to welcome you all to the Graduation Show 2022 at NIFT Kangra. On behalf of the management, I thank the dignitaries and the distinguished guests for coming and gracing this occasion.
Here at NIFT Kangra, we value our knowledge and nurture it through a perfect blend of the traditional as well as contemporary ways and means for the holistic development of the student's personality, so that every year the society at large is benefited with the well-equipped professionals who can significantly contribute to the value creation process.
I would like to call Director Sir Shri Akash Devangan, IRS, and Joint Director Sir Shri Dinesh Rangra to present our guests with souvenirs from our very own craft shop at NIFT Kangra, Himstot. Himstot is started with aim to help craftsmen, artisans, and entrepreneurs of Himachal Pradesh design intervention, training, branding, and promotion of their products. This time, NIFT Kangra has guests from diverse fields, and they include Vice President, founders, Managing Director, filmmaker, textile designer, and fashion designer. Let's welcome them with a big round of applause.
First of all, I would like to call our special guest, Mr. Naveen Tanwar, IAS NDC, Chamba. As the next dignitary to come up on the stage is Mr. Vikas Gupta, founder and managing director at Runwick Exports Private Limited. He is the founder director of 360 Degree and owner at Viner Nautica Wines Private Limited.
Thank you, sir. We welcome you at NIFT Kangra. The next dignitary to honor us with his presence is Mr. Manish Tripathi, an alumnus of the National Institute of Fashion Technology. Oh, okay, sorry. As the next dignitary to come up on the stage, I would like to invite Aditya Pandey, textile designer and product developer, commercial at Tesco International Sourcing, India Private Limited. He is also the head designer, home accessories, interior and textile at Indian August.
The next dignitary to honor us with his presence is Aditya Chaurasia, senior designer at Vardhaman since 2013, with a total experience of 9 years. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence today. We welcome you at NIFT Kangra.
As the next dignitary to honor us with his presence is Kartavya Sharma, Additional General Manager at RVJ Woodcraft Private Limited, Jaipur, Rajasthan. He is currently working with RVJ Woodcraft, taking care of factory operations. He is having 13 years of experience in the furniture export. Thank you, sir, for gracing this occasion with your presence. We welcome you at NIFT Kangra.
Moving on, I would like to request Sri Dinesh Rangra, IRS Joint Director, NIFT Kangra, to honor our Director Sir, Sri Akash Devangan, IRS, with a sapling.
Thank you, sir. We'd like to call Mr. Saurav Chaturvedi, Campus Academic Coordinator, NIFT Kangra, on stage to honor our Joint Director, sir, with a sapling. now request Shri Akash Devangan, IRS Director NIFT Kangra, to address the graduating batch.
Dear guests, respected faculties, and the students. I am looking very less number of students here, but I want to, it's going live also, so I want to congratulate all of them for that scintillating performances. The creativity you have shown, the amazing amount of craft, the attitude and the intelligence which you have shown in your design showcase. It's really amazing. I can see the known faces here. And as you all know, that I am from a non-technical and non-design background, and that too a taxman profession, and very bad in the public orator. So मुझे लगा कि I should prepare something like my students used to do. Like if the way you want to prepare for your juries and the end term examination, the same way I prepared for my speech. I started writing in the next the late night only. And what happened? I prepared that all entire speech in my son's rough copy. And today morning, he took away the copy with him in his school. So I don't have anything to speak right now. But let me try. The first thing I want to know that last time there must be, it's a 2009 and it's 2022. 13 years have been passed. So there must be many graduation shows and many speeches. Any of the faculties, because students are new, any of the faculties are aware of any such speeches, what they have told? Anyone? I don't think so. So I want to make my speech very, very short. Then only you can remember what I have spoken. So in that background, I just want to say that as we are discussing with Vikas sir, our guest of honor, that the creativity requires madness. There must be some madness with Zuckerberg when he was making a social network just to connect the person who is sitting next to his room. And that became a success. And see the madness. अगले रूम पे जो बैठा है उस बंदे से मिलने के लिए वो social network बना रहा था. And that was a success story for the world. So we need that craziness, that out of the box thinking. क्योंकि जैसे हम करते हैं, mostly from the government administration, that everybody should come on stage and welcoming with the bouquets and the gifts. It's a prototype, a stereotype. You guys, to the graduates, I would like to come with the new ideas that will pioneer the way for the industry, for this new age where the things are changing. We have seen, actually I was in the committee of Vision 2050 for the campus. And 2050 की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी थी. डेथ ऑफ कैंपस हो गया था 2030 में ही, और डेथ ऑफ फैकल्टी हो गई थी 2040 में. There is no need of campus, there is no need of faculty also. So in this background, we are here with this paradigm shift. When we got the laptop in our mobiles, the different synonym analogy I am using, but now we don't need a laptop also. Everything is on phone. So in this world where things are changing so rapidly, the last 6-7 years, 91 is a milestone where LPG liquidization, liberalization, privatization and globalization came into the picture. That is known as a stepping stone in the future of country. But I believe that this smartphone has done so much change, and that too so much damage to our society and the economy also. But in this background, in this backstage circumstances, we need to be creative. We need to pull ourselves with the changing market environment, changing scenario, changing world. And particularly इस देश के लिए देखें तो श्रीलंका आप जानते हैं how they are faring. The things are even the prices in this country is also rising so much. In this background, the things are so. The only one message I want to say to all of you कि क्रिएटिव होने के लिए सबसे पहले हम्बल होना पड़ता है. You have to learn from each and every corner of the world. You can learn from an ant, from a tree, from a grass also. Here I want just one एक श्लोक है. The श्लोक is त्रिणादपि सुनिचेन तरोरिव सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनयो सदाहरि. You have to be humble. त्रिनादपि, तृण means grass होता है. त्रिनादपि सुनिचेन, सुनिचेन means उससे भी नम्र होना. You have to be humbler than grass. And second one is taroriv sahishnuna. You should have a tolerance more than a tree. ट्री के साथ होता है कि ट्री को अगर तूफान भी आ जाता है बट ट्री खड़ा रहता है, और साथ में अगर ट्री को कट भी कर देते हैं हम अपने कोर्ट यार्ड में, लेकिन अगली बार वो फल देता है फिर से. तो टॉलरेंस भी दिखाना है कि हमें किसी तूफान से नहीं हटना है. अगर कोई आपके पर काटने लगे तो भी आपको टेंशन में नहीं आना है. त्रिनादपि सुनिचेन तरोरिव सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन कीर्तनयो सदाहरि. Amanina means don't expect any respect for yourself, and Manaden give respect to anybody. These are the four precondition. उसके बाद ही हम आप कीर्तनयो सदाहरि कर सकते हैं, आप भगवान की पूजा कर सकते हैं. तो कीर्तनयो सदाहरि को हम हर चीज के लिए लेते हैं, क्योंकि कर्मण्यवादिका रास्ते की बात हो चाहे मदस्व कुरु अर्पण की बात हो, हर चीज हमें भगवान को ही अर्पण करना है. That is the best way of doing your karma, your deeds. तो ये चार प्री कंडीशन चाहिए हमें वर्ल्ड में भी एग्जिस्ट करने के लिए. आई हैव हर्ड, आई एम फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट सर्विसेज, बट प्राइवेट में देयर आर मेनी अदर थिंग्स विच आर देयर कटिंग एज कट थ्रोट competitions and everything is there. So these four pre conditions I would like you all to adopt. The first one is, again चलो रिपीट करते हैं बिकॉज कॉलेज है, एक बार रिपीट कराया जाए फिर से. फर्स्ट इज त्रिनादपि सुनिचेन, द हम्बलर देन द ग्रास. जैसे घास होता है, घास के ऊपर हम चले जाते हैं, रौन देते हैं, उसके बाद भी वो फिर से उभर के आता है. एंड यू नो दैट ग्रास कैन नॉट बी डाइड बाई फायर ऑल्सो. घास को कोई नहीं मार सकता, घास मरता है सिर्फ छांव से. अगर सनलाइट नहीं है तो घास मरेगा नहीं. तो देयर इज नो अदर वे ग्रास कैन बी डाइड. त्रिनादपि सुनिचेन तरोरिव सहिष्णुना, यू शुड हैव टॉलरेंस मोर देन अ ट्री. एंड अमानिना, डोंट एक्सपेक्ट एनी रिस्पेक्ट फ्रॉम एनीबडी. यार जिस दिन किसी से रेस्पेक्ट की उम्मीद नहीं होगी तो गुस्सा कहां से आएगा? ईगो का तो क्वेश्चन ही नहीं उठता. एंड मानदेन, गिव रिस्पेक्ट टू एवरीवन, right from if you are going in an industry, right from a person who is the security guard to the vice president and president. Give respect to anybody, irrespective of whether he is from security guard or a president. तो ये चार जो द बेसिक प्रिंसिपल है, फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल्स है, ये याद रखेंगे आप तो यू विल बी सर्वाइव इन द इंडस्ट्री लाइक एनीथिंग. एंड जो क्रिएटिविटी है, जो मैडनेस है, वो ह्यूमिलिटी से ही आती है. क्रिएटिविटी के लिए आपको सीखना पड़ता है. लाइक आई हैव सीन मेनी इंस्पिरेशंस विच यू हैव ब्रॉट फ्रॉम द नेचर. अभी ग्रेजुएशन शो में हम देख रहे थे, दीज आर क्रिएटिविटी. वहाँ पे आपको हम्बल होना पड़ेगा इन फ्रंट ऑफ नेचर, इन फ्रंट ऑफ क्रिएटिविटी, इन फ्रंट ऑफ एनी वन एल्स. तो अगेन द फोर फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल्स, त्रिनादपि सुनिचेन तरोरिव सहिष्णुना अमानिना मानदेन एंड कीर्तनयो सदाहरि, or whatever you want to do. On this note, I would like to close my speech, and there are four principles only. Again, I want to repeat. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words.
Today, we're celebrating graduation show for 10th batch of NIFT Kangra. On this day, graduating students display work, projects done during the graduation project. NIFT Kangra is having 5 departments for graduation show, and name of graduation show for each department is Graduation Show for Fashion and Lifestyle Accessories is Design Showcase. In this, students display products made of wood, leather, and metal. Products are varied, such as bags, furniture, jewelry, hats, and so on. The recent trend is to design something which is sustainable and ergonomically designed.
Graduation show for fashion communication is Design Factory. This is hot cake and has a huge demand. Students are involved in graphic design, UI UX, content for social media, styling, product photography, space design, videos, branding and promotion, and fashion journalism.
Textile design, Tantu. Textile students develop a collection of fabric, colors, and surface techniques, embroidery, printing, and embellishments based on trend forecast for the next season.
Graduation show for fashion technology is TECHNOVA. Students do a project based on the industry need in garment, retail, e-commerce consultancies. Projects this year is based on improving the supply chain, improving quality, developing sustainable solutions, vendor management system, and brand analysis.
Graduation show of fashion design is Fashion Nova. Students develop a design collection that is based on concept and theme. All work is done by students from concept to pattern to stitching. This will be showcased in the form of a fashion show today evening at 7 p.m. in Tanda Medical College. Entire event from stitching to modeling to choreography will be managed by NIFT Kangra students, and we all are eagerly waiting for the fashion show.
Let's begin today's auspicious event with the praise of the most merciful and the most benevolent. Today's event has two classic segments. We are going to showcase some of the best works of our graduating batches from two departments, Department of Fashion Communication and Department of Fashion Technology.
The fashion communication graduates emerge as dynamic professionals qualified to offer the most effective and financially viable communication solutions for the fashion, lifestyle industry, and beyond. The fast-moving digital revolution has opened up fashion communication design to new disciplines that require students to excel not only in traditional design skills, but also explore and design human-centered concepts and system design processes linked with information technology.
Let's take a glimpse of some of the work done by the FC graduating students. Let's begin with a trip to the Emerald Islands, better known as the Andamans. Ankit Jaiswal conceptualized and created promotional videos from Andaman tourism, capturing Andaman and its palm-lined islands, white sand beaches, mangroves, and tropical rainforests to showcase Andaman as a visual treat for potential tourists.
Akshita's words, travel is the closest she's come to an epiphany. Thrilophilia is a renowned brand name rooted in passion for travel, exploration, and adventure. Her work in Thrilophilia is an amalgam of branding projects, social media, and most importantly, the creation of static and dynamic ads in the digital marketing sector. Let us take you through a glimpse of her work.
My tour experience with Thrilophilia was great. The bikes were in excellent condition. Ground team was really nice. It was my first ever Ladakh bike trip and I have been planning this in so many years and finally I did it.
The tour experience was really great. The bikes were in absolutely immaculate condition. Accommodation was really good. The food was delicious. I was craving for an adventure like this.
Teaching became the only options. Divyanshu worked on creating a 5-part series of animations for GlaxoSmithKline for the sales representative working with the company to teach about the new drug Nucala and how to market them to doctors. The short clip that is presented on the display is an excerpt from Rapid Onset, where the sales representative is talking about the advantages of the new drug and how it is more powerful than the conventional medications found on the market. The coach is directly talking to the viewer based on the choices that the user makes during the quizzes. The clip is from one of the situations.
Does this address your concerns in detail how Nucala is the only anti-IL-5 to demonstrate powerful and lasting protection for up to 4.8 years?
Yay! You have brilliantly handled the doctor's objections to Nucala. It's time for me to bid you adieu now. Do svidaniya.
Purva worked on the Tata Ace EV launch and was a part of the brand activation and client servicing team, and worked closely with the design and animation team for creating storyboards of the videos and creating the launch moment. The video is a preview of the launch moment of the event along with the first test run of the event.
Audio. Audio.
For the last audio-video presentation, I request Mr. Abhiraj to please come up on the dais and let's see the world through his camera.
Good afternoon. Check 1, 2, 3, check. It's been long coming back on the mic. Good afternoon, Director Sir, JD Sir, Chief Guest and Guest of Honor. Today I'm here proudly showcasing my work as a fashion communication student from NIFT Kangra. I've been working in Thrilophilia as a travel filmmaker, as a storyteller, and for Thrilophilia I've been traveling places, shooting amazing locations and experiences of customers and natives, and it has been an amazing journey. I would like to thank NIFT Kangra for making me who I am today. And here is my project. Thank you.
Thrilophilia KTM Adventure 390 of Rajasthan. 8 bikes with the marshal and a backup crew, 700 odd kilometers, started from Jaipur all the way to Jodhpur. We are on our way to Jaisalmer. Rajasthan roads are awesome. The stretches are very nice and long and refined stretches. 390 performance is very good. The bike's got a really good traction control and ABS. A lot of nice electronics that really assists the driver. We got another 2 days and another 400 odd kilometers to go. It's the 390 KTM Adventure that's got me going right now. It's really adventurous.
Let's now begin today's second segment, which showcases some of the best and the most extraordinary graduation research projects from Department of Fashion Technology. Fashion technology is aimed to develop industry-ready professionals who are trained to understand the fundamentals of apparel business and to effect the change in order to match the dynamism of the business scenario. It prepares techno managers with expertise in the core areas of mass manufacturing of apparel wares, apparel technology, production planning, industrial engineering, and sustainable production. For that reason, I would like to call upon the very first group on stage presented by students Ms. Prerna Gupta and Mr. Harshal Chopra on the topic closed loop recycling system at M&S.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Prerna and
I'm Harshal Chopra.
so we did our graduation project at Marks and Spencer's, Gurgaon, and our topic for our graduation project was closed loop recycling system, where we worked upon empty thread cones and recycling, converting the empty thread cones into hanger hooks. About the brand, M&S is a British multinational retailer which is located in Westminster, London. It was founded in 1884. They have nearly 1487 stores all around the world and nearly 72 stores in India. They deal in different categories: clothing, food, beauty, and home. These are some of the clothing brands at M&S: Jaeger, Paruna, Boutique, Autograph, Good Move. The departments in our office were product development and production, technology team, human resource, finance, corporate social responsibility, and supply chain management.
Our problem statement was that India generates millions of tons of plastic waste each year, out of which only about a fourth is recycled, and even when it is recycled, it is only downcycled, which means that the recycled product has less value than the original product. Our objective was to find and upcycle an avenue of plastic waste at M&S. Upcycle means that the recycled product has more value than the original product. And we did this by upcycling empty plastic thread cones into hanger hooks and forming a closed loop system. Primary data collected was that we identified different types of plastics which could be identified by their different resin numbers. For example, PET bottles have resin number 1, and the plastic that we recycled was high density polyethylene, which has resin number 2.
We also collected the data from different suppliers for the thread consumption at MNS. For Vardhaman, Coats and Arvind, it was nearly 2 million per month. For Madeira, it was 0.5 million per month. And for Gutterman, it was 1 million per month. We calculated that nearly 80 tons of plastic waste gets dumped due to this. And only 30% of this is used into surplus in the factory level, and 50 to 70% of this order quantity of plastic cones get dumped and downcycled. They are sold to the scrapers, local scrapers at factory level. We also studied about the carbon footprints, and the studies show that recycling can save up to 76% of carbon emissions and also can reduce carbon footprints at a huge level. These are different shapes and sizes of thread cones from different suppliers: Madeira, Gutterman, Arvind, Vardhaman. We collected the data for the reuse of thread cones at factory level, and we discovered that mostly it is done in the sampling process, which is the rewinding process, where a larger cone is rewinded into 5 smaller cones for reusing. This is the rewinding machine which is used for the process. This is the cost comparison for raw material. We discovered and we collected the data that the virgin cost material for HDP is nearly 140 rupees per kg for Reliance, and the recycled material which we can create from empty thread cones is 60 rupees per kg plus 40 rupees for every 10 kg for transportation. So the cost difference for the raw material procurement can be 40 rupees per kg, which is a huge difference.
We also ventured into if we could reuse the thread cones instead of recycling. The problems we ran into were supply chain management and transportation costs that would have to be taken over by the factories that are buying the thread cones or the supplier of the thread cones. Also, sorting and cleaning would be very meticulous for these thread cones because some of the thread cones like Madeira and Gutterman already have engraved details of the threads that were wound upon them. And new cones are simply more economical. Closed loop system at MNS means that all the factories and workshops that are in the process flow should be affiliated with MNS already, so that the quality level is kept at the rates that MNS needs.
The basic workflow process in the process of upcycling of empty thread cones was the collection of cones from different factories and suppliers. Next was sorting and cleaning, thus removing of stickers from the cones, crushing of the plastic, then granulation, manufacturing of hangers, and we also did testing for the hangers. First process in the manufacturing is plastic crushing, where there is a plastic crusher. The material is poured into the plastic crusher. There are 2 types of blades in that machine. One is rotating blade and one is the fixed blade. The rotating blade, it works and rotates around the fixed blade, which causes the plastic materials crushing and grinding, which converts the larger pieces of plastic into smaller pieces. We worked with Fusayo Health and Business Services for this, which is located in Gurgaon. These are some of the pictures from the process. This is the plastic crusher machine, and these were the plastic crushed. The next process in our manufacturing was granulation, where there is a hopper. You can see in the above picture, A is showing the hopper where the material is poured, then which goes into the crushing chamber where the process of shearing and compression of the material takes place, and then the process of screening takes place, which converts the plastic crushes into granules, and then they are released. We worked with Ujjwal Polypack from Bangalore with this process. These are some of the pictures from the process, the machine, the compression and the cooling, the screening processes.
The first step in the manufacturing process is that a master batch is created of the granules formed before by dyeing them into same color, usually white or black, and then this master batch is poured into the molding machine, in which the process works in 5 steps. First, clamping of the dye into the chamber, then closing of the dye chamber, injection of the material into the dye, holding of the material while it's heated and then cooled off, and ejection of the formed hanger hooks. We work with Shine Plastics in Tamil Nadu for this. These are some of the photos that denote the manufacturing process. So for costing, we originally procured 9 kg of thread cones, that is the material that is to be recycled. And if we are recycling, we need to create a mixture of 60% of virgin material and 40% of recycled material to retain the strength. And for that, the total material that we would need to use the 9 kg would be 22.5 kg. And through that, we did the costing that is given. The one hook of recycled material costs about 0.9 rupees. And one hook of virgin material costs 1.26 rupees. From this, we can save 36 paisa per hook.
The season requirement for hanger hooks at MNS is nearly 1 million per season, and we can save up to 3,60,000 if we work on this process and if the implementation goes well. This is the cost comparison between both of the materials, the virgin material and the recycled material. We also worked and did the testing for both of the hanger hooks, and these were the results. We did the testing for 2 particulars, load bearing and tensile breaking load. One is for the recycled and one was for the virgin material, and it came out to be that the load bearing capacity for the recycled material was more than the load bearing capacity for the virgin material. These are the graphs for both of the test particulars. One was the tensile breaking capacity and the next was load bearing capacity.
This was the finished product that we sampled. Yeah, the hanger hooks were for the T76 department of schoolwear that are to be sold in the UK.
This was the final product which we worked upon. So we created from this, we created this, and these are the final pictures of our final product.
And our future projections are of similar type of hanger hooks that are used at MNS stores.
It is. So here it is the virgin material only, but we are going to use it like this. It is used in the T76 schoolwear, which is not available in India right now, but they are using this thing in UK and other countries. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Prerna and Mr. Harshal, for this amazing presentation. We got to learn a lot.
The second group to come up on the stage is Group 2, presented by students Ms. Nikita Daniel and Ms. Jenny Sebastian, on the topic, Increasing the Service Level Efficiencies for the Business to Franchise Channel.
Good afternoon, everyone. So we undertook a project at Fab India titled Increasing the Service Level Efficiency of Business to Franchisee Portal. So for us, the service level means the percentage of fulfillment out of the total booked quantity. So when this portal was launched during the season of November-December, the service level of the period was So the service level efficiency of the period during November-December was 67%. And prior to this initiative, the B2F orders were not being prioritized, which was not profitable for the company. And it was problematic because it makes up for the primary sale of the company. Hence, the aim of this project is to study the B2F model, find out the reasons for delay, and recommend possible solutions in the subsequent seasons to reach at least 90% service levels. So the limitations being because of the global pandemic, our project began later than planned and the inward of goods was delayed at the central warehouse. And because of SAMP implementation, the inward and delivery of goods at the stores did not take place during the month of April.
So the supply chain of the company consisted of three important departments, being the product selection committee, the procurement hub, and the central warehouse. Over here, the PSC department, it acted as our buyer, and they planned the range for the next collection. And the procurement hub acted as the merchandiser, and they were responsible for talking to the vendors and coordinating with them. And the central warehouse was where all the goods were transferred in and transferred out.
So an overview of how the B2F portal works. The B2F portal, it allows the franchisee stores to place an order for the upcoming season collection 75 days prior to the season launch. And there are 8 market regions which are spread across India which are responsible for the operation of these stores. And each store has a wallet decided by the market regions, which is basically the maximum amount of inventory that they can hold based on the previous year's sales and demand. And after the orders are placed, an auto DL is generated, which is a distribution list, which is a list of SKUs according to the stores and the amount that has to be distributed to them, which has an expiry of 30 days. And these DLs are then converted to transfer request, based on which the orders are moved from the central warehouse to the franchisee warehouse.
So the problems which arose during the fulfillment of B2F channel but not the retail channel was that the packaging in which the vendor sent the retail stores garments was in blister packaging, and for the open packaging, the packaging was open and it was off ratio, so there had to be a lot of manual sorting done. So this is the research methodology.
So research methodology is as follows. First, we have the booked quantity of the season that we are working on, which is Jan, Feb, and March. And we receive the expected inward plan against the book quantity. So during the course of a project, we collected the data of the actual inward and transferred out quantity from the warehouse. And this was compared with the previous season, that is November-December. And we identify the gaps through the Ishikawa diagram and recommended solutions which are to be implemented in the next season, which is April, May, June. So this is the data collection. This is the overview of the season of November-December. So as you can see here, out of a total booked quantity of 43,000, the company could only fulfill 26,000 pieces. And during the season of Jan, Feb, March, this is the nets out of 1.26 lakh pieces. The net serviceable quantity is 1.19 lakhs. So our aim is to fulfill at least 90% of this 1.19 lakh pieces.
So these were the gaps which we identified for our project. One was the quantity gap and one was the time gap. The quantity gap being the difference between the booked quantity and the quantity which had been delivered to us, and the delivered quantity and the quantity which we have serviced. So this is the graphical representation for the same, and this is the time gap. So over here we can see that around 42% was from the problematic area, and we have highlighted the problematic area in the chart as well. So the expected time which was given for the orders to fulfill was 19 days, but it was taking more than 19 days. So our aim of the project was to service a larger amount of quantity in a smaller amount of time.
So this is the Ishikawa diagram analysis that we did. Out of the 5 causes, the causes which we could work upon was the distribution list, warehousing process, and incorrect allocation of pieces. The reason being that since our project began after the pieces arrived at the warehouse, we could only work on these factors. So we arrived on the solutions based on the YY analysis for the distribution list, the allocation issue, and the warehousing process, which I will talk about in the recommendations. So based on this, for the distribution list, we recommended that the preventive action should be taken by the PSC before the DL expires, and the expiry time of auto DLs could be extended so that the goods do not stay in the warehouse for a long period of time. And after scrutinizing the warehousing process and the weekly alignment of inventory, it showed a significant growth in the processing time. And also, since manual sorting was a time-consuming process, we recommended an increased workforce to be allotted for the same instead of the blister and GRN area. And finally, we developed and implemented a standard operating procedure which could be implemented in the further seasons. And this was the SOP that was implemented. So based on the SOP implemented, these are the other results.
So this was the service level efficiency for the season of November-December. Over here, we were only able to achieve 62% of fulfillment ratio in 12 weeks, and on an average, 1,000 to 2,000 pieces were being serviced on a weekly basis. So for the January, February, March season, after implementation of the SOP which we came up with, we were able to fulfill 91% of service level efficiencies in 14 weeks. We had to take buffer period of time because due to COVID, our season inwards started late. And as you can see, the orders started picking up in the week 3 only. And on an average, 5,000 to 10,000 pieces were serviced weekly. So this is the graphical representation month-wise for the same. And this is what we implemented in April, May, June as well. So this is the comparison between November, December, January, February, March, and April, May, June. Over here we can see that in the month of April, May, June, there's already a 3% growth in the first week itself. And this is a comparison between the 3 seasons. And the impact of a project is, so in the month of November, December, the total sales were 19 crores. And in the month of January, February, March, the sales were 22 crores. So it was a significant growth in the sales as well. So there was there was around 15% profit to the company. And as you can see in the market-wise region, only MR06, that is the Tamil Nadu and Kerala area, was not fulfilled, did not perform very well. But apart from that, there is a significant growth in all the marketing regions.
So to conclude, from the Ishikawa and YY analysis, it can be inferred that the DL generation, warehousing process, and incorrect allocation of pieces of stores are the major factors that could be worked upon. And monitoring the inward quantity at the warehouse and the transfer out quantity for the franchisee every week, in addition to frequent inventory alignment, it led to an increase in OFR order fulfillment ratio in 3% in the first week itself, as compared to 0.02% in JFM. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nikita and Ms. Jenny, for the presentation.
The third group to come up on the stage is presented by Shivanshi Sharma on the topic, an initiative towards directing textile wastage into incentivized constraining reverse logistics and circular economy.
Good afternoon to one and all present out here. Today I, Shivanshi Sharma, takes up this honor and pride to showcase my graduation project in TECHNOVA 2022. I did my graduation project at Lagori, which is an e-commerce site that caters to kidswear and their accessories. So the title of my graduation project is an initiative towards directing textile wastage into incentivized donation, constraining reverse logistics and circular economy. The keywords for my graduation project were sustainable, green and rewarding. Objective of my graduation project was efficient incentivization of donating old clothes and preventing textile wastage by making the user journey seamless throughout the process. My project at Lagori was Donate at Door. Donate at Door is an initiative in which all purchases will be donated to the needy, and in return of that, the customer will be credited with 10% of the product's value in their wallet. Adding to this, after every 20 donations, after every 20 donations made by each customer, he or she will be given an exciting gift box. Donate at Door, initiative Donate at Door will leverage the concept of reverse logistics, circular fashion, incentive motivation, and user experience design. Research overview. Well, every year less than 1% of textile used to construct a garment is recycled. Therefore, the motive of the project was to make it more and more sustainable. My primary research included surveys through questionnaires, sampling technique, interviews, open-ended questionnaires, unstructured interviews, and unstructured observations. After the surveys, the findings that came out were, most people wanted the app to be easy, logical, quick, accurate, engaging, and financially rewarding with free of cost to use. We also focused on user motivations, user pain points, user needs, and the surveys also gave us valuable insights on the feasibility of the project. Now, competitor strategies. In 2013, H&M started an initiative where you can donate your old clothes by going in the store, and in return, they are going to give you 10% discount on any purchase. In 2017, Myntra also started a similar initiative which said #Myntra Fashion Upgrade. The highlights of the initiative were they were picking up from the doorstep and their association with Goonj. Goonj is a non-profitable organization. These were the pictures in which we donated the old clothes. Now, for making this process digitalized, I made a prototype. So, the process of implementation was, first of all, the home page was designed, then Donate at Door tab, login, select items option, fill in address, select your slot, check all the donated items, define condition. These were the handmade wireframes that were made before the designing. These were the digital wireframes. And these were the final screens that came out after the designing of the prototype. Now, I also implemented 22 Donate at Doors in the store. This is the data. Observations from the 22 Donate at Doors that were done in store. 6 out of 15 redeems are from the newborn category. And from the age group 0 to 3 years, a child almost overgrows 7 sizes. People found it most convenient to donate clothes on Fridays and Saturdays, hence digitalizing the whole process. Most people came to return the old Lagori purchase because their children overgrew it. The rest of 7 people who did not redeem their 10% discount right away were interviewed, and they evidently said that they did not want to buy the clothes. Now, after the comparison of two original orders, from the previous donata doors that were made, I got on the conclusion that 68.9% is the customer retention rate. That means that on the sales of 12,000 rupees, there is consecutive sales of 7,560 rupees followed. After the comparison of two styles, it is concluded that the probability of returning of customer without using donate at door is 50%. But with the usage of donate at door, the probability of customer is returning the customer is 68.9%. The benefits from donate at door were 67 underprivileged children were wearing decent clothes and they were helped through 22 donate at doors, content for marketing, CSR activity, minimal textile wastage, adding value to the brand identity, and moreover it is environment friendly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Shivanshi, for this amazing presentation.
The fourth group to present their project is presented by students Ms. Priya Sharma and Mr. Sarthak Roy on the topic shifting towards an economically viable alternative to sustain the current cotton price hike.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. This is Priya Sharma and Sarthak Roy. We did our graduation project at ESPRI, and from the beginning our initial idea was to work upon how COVID has impacted the apparel industry, and that is what we worked upon. So our topic is shifting towards an economically viable fabric alternative to sustain the current cotton price hike. Since the pandemic, the price has quite increased for the cotton fabric due to various conditions because of supply and demand issues and the logistics cost and various factors which contributed to the cotton price hike. So our main objective was to
Our main aim of the project was to reduce the fabric cost by proposing an economically viable solution without changing the quality of the fabric. And our sub-objectives of this project was to analyze the factors that are responsible for the price increase during the COVID and afterwards, and to do the market study for ESPRI by the help of competition mapping in Germany to reduce the fabric lead time and to analyze the cost and the impact of rising cost and to suggest the additional methods for the fabric. So coming on to the methodology, so the study we conducted was ESPRI India office situated in Gurgaon, and we studied in the department sourcing and sampling, and the brand division we studied was EDC and WCA, and the research type we did was descriptive, applied and analytical research, and the sourcing methods and strategies were examined during our process with the help of the swatches and the quality team. So coming on to our process flow. So this is our process flow in the form of tables. Firstly, we studied the spring-summer season, which was going into the sampling stage for the spring-summer 2023. And then we picked up a dominant fabric in that styles. And then we picked up a particular style of that garment to analyze the difficulties and the problems in that garment. And then we studied the type of finishes in the fabric that were used and what were their cost to that garment. And then we suggested an alternative fabric after selecting different fabrics. We selected an alternative fabric and we compared both the samples, the old one and the new one, with respect to the quality, lead time and the garment cost. So
This is the Excel of the 85 styles that we studied. They were studied on the basis of their brand division, category, fabrics, colors, and the fabric composition, their count and construction. And the analysis is that out of 85 styles, 30 styles were of 100% cotton. That meant that 35% of the whole 100% fabrics were cotton, and 13% were polyester, and the other dominated fabric was 29% that was viscose. Furthermore, to study which fabric of cotton was dominant in the cotton itself, that was poplin, it was 34%, cambric was 23%, and cord was 13%. And to also study for the viscose, Moroccan crepe was 24%, 45's viscose was 8%, and Kelsey crepe was 16%. Then a cost comparison study was done for the different fabrics, and it can be seen in the table that poplin fabric had the greatest price increase. That was 39%, 37%, and 30%, and tencel also had the greater price increase. This was the analysis of the table, and the average out of the cost was of $2.21 in-house cost, that is the in-house cost. But as you can see, the poplin and various varieties of cotton, that is poplin, corduroy, had a greater increase as compared to the other. These are the data for the year 2020, 2021, and 2022. So this was the style that we chose. This was of brand EDC, and it was a blouse. It was of 50s poplin, and the composition was 100% cotton, and the count and construction was 50 into 50 and 142 into 87. And furthermore, the finishes used were mechanical stretch, ETI, and liquid ammonia, and the in-house cost for the fabric that Esprit was paying was $3.05, and the selling price would have been $48.27.
So coming on to the problems in the fabric, firstly the fabric contained the Pima yarn, which was highly expensive, and it was imported from US, and after the after the pandemic, the import duty has been increased by 5%. So it was one of the issue, and the other issues were finishes that were ETI and LA. ETI is easy to iron finish, and LA is the liquid ammonia wash. It is done because of the coarse yarn of the Pima, which is and it is very expensive. And the problem with ETI finish was that it was not sustainable after 5 washes. So the cost of the fabric now has been increased by 39%, and the lead time was 120 days, which was the major problem, because the whole lead time of an order was 120, and the fabric itself is taking 120 days. So we did the competition mapping at so as you can see in this, Esprit, the main competitors are H&M, Marco Polo, S. Oliver, and Zara, and the direct competitors are S. Oliver and H&M, and the price point, our price point is 48.27 euros, which is going out of our budget. So the product was not viable at that time. So coming on to the solution.
So we contacted our different suppliers and asked for different fabric swatches. We have the file right here, if you can show the jury. So different swatches of different content, construction, count, and GSM, and different finishes were found out, and the comparison was done on the basis of price and the lead time. Furthermore, this was a selected sample, that is the first sample right there. So the construction of the sample was 142 into 82, and the GSM was 110, and the finishes used were peach finish and peach and non-peach finish, and the price was 2.36, which was earlier was 3.05. Now the price was the fabric that we suggested, the price had decreased to 2.36, and the lead time has also decreased to 45 to 55 days.
So coming on to the finishes that we used in our new fabric, peach finish, we used peach finish in the new fabric. So the property of this finish is that finish is very soft, and the hand feel is good, and it is moderately wrinkle resistant. And the liquid ammonia we didn't use because it was not required. So the new garment that we made is smooth and wavy in hand feel. So
to validate our suggestions. We had the testing done for the fabric, and this was the fabric testing report, summary of the fabric testing report. The tests were done on the basis of color fastness to washing, color fastness to water, tensile strength, pilling resistance, and tearing strength. And all the testing was done under the norms of the required specifications of the Esprit, and this is how our fabric passed through it. And furthermore, because we did the sampling of the suggested fabric, so these were the test reports and the tests were done on the appearance after washing, tensile strength, thread per unit and mass per unit, pilling resistance, seam slippage, tearing strength, yarn count, and fiber composition. And also these garment test results were also under the norms of Esprit India Esprit India. So this is the cost comparison of the samples.
So as you, there's a cost sheet in that. So you can see there's a difference. So 8% the cost has been.
Can we have this projection?
So the price and the lead time, there's a huge difference in the lead time, which was earlier, which was 120 days, now it had become 45 to 50 days, and the price point that which the new sample will, the MRP will be at 44 euros, so there will be €4 gap, so we saved €4. So it is the comparison of the lead time. And other suggestive solutions we did other than that, this project was the captive planning and the logistics, and the results as per the solutions, it will give good results. So coming on to the conclusion.
So further on, moving to the conclusion, we were able to decrease the cost of the garment by 8.81%, and that was economically viable for Esprit because of the price point that we suggested beforehand. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Priya and Mr. Sarthak, for this presentation.
The dignitary to honor us with his presence is Mr. Manish Tripathi, an alumnus of the National Institute of Fashion Technology, Delhi batch. Designer Manish Tripathi has carved new paths with his illustrious achievements, owing to his extensive knowledge and sharp acumen for fashion textiles. He has successfully established himself as the former National Advisor to the Ministry of Textiles for India. I request Director Sir and Joint Director Sir to come up on the stage and honor him. Sir, we welcome you at NIFT Kangra. Thank you.
We resume our presentations with the fifth and last group, presented by student Ms. Sania Kakkar on the topic Uplifting Pre-Production Activities and Planning of Process in Sampling and Merchandising.
Good afternoon, I'm Sania Kakkar and I did my graduation project in an export house in Ludhiana, and the title of my project is Uplifting Pre-Production Activities and Planning of Processing in Sampling Up Apps. So I worked in an export house that is a diversified manufacturer of ready-to-wear fashion in domestic as well as international market, and is growing at a fast rate of 17.5% for past 15 years, and is also awarded as #1 supplier of Aditya Birla Group in 2017. The vision and mission of the company is to grow and to create excellence in their products to provide customer satisfaction. The company is ISO, GOATS and SETIC certified. Some of the buyers are Armand Thierry, Parks, Ellen Soli, Louis Philippe, Raymond's and many more. So every leading garment industry has a real-time production planning, but not for the pre-production activities. And according to a research, the pre-production activities constitute 73% of the total lead time. So I did my project to standardize the activities performed in pre-production processes to reduce the non-value adding activities that were analyzed and add value to the process through adding the value adding activities to the process. So to increase the efficiency and to reduce the inventory costs and wastage and to reduce the process cycle time, lean approach was used, and it was divided into 3 parts as value in value adding activities, non-value adding activities and value enabling activities. So the purpose was to analyze the product development process, identify non-value adding activities and to eliminate, reduce or minimize them, and improvement through lean approach. So in pre-production activities, the activities should increase the value, there should be good communication, the waste should be eliminated and it should be well structured and add value. So there are a lot of wastes in pre-production activities such as transportation, inventory, waiting time, overproduction, overprocessing, defects, motion and knowledge disconnect or handoffs. So to study the gap between expected dispatch dates and the actual dispatch dates, this data is collected, and the value to add more research to the project, the value was analyzed and was divided into 2 parts. First is sampling and then is planning. So going on with the sampling, the value adding activities included file generation, fabric card, trim card, tech pack. Non-value adding activities included idle time at trim store, waiting at overlock, recut of fabric ripping. Value enabling activities included printing, recut, pattern correction and cutting. These cannot be reminisced. So the main area of work to reduce the non-value adding activities was the idle time at trim store, that was constituted to be 8.6 hours by 8 people that had to work with store at merchant office, and this data was collected through a personal interview. And moving with the planning part, the value adding activities include time and action plan generation, data maintenance, product simplification and production tracking. Whereas transfer of job from one task to another, transporting samples and organized data is a non-value adding activities. Costing, development and calculation of material utilization comes under value enabling activities. So the TNA that need to be followed is a value adding activity. So it was analyzed. There were 2 types of TNAs, in which one of them the actual dates were entered according to the real time, and the other was where the whole plan was made according to the expected dates and no actual dates were particularly involved in the TNA. So there is poor planning in the process. So there is a demand for longer lead time, inefficient sampling, inefficient ERP system and time consumption in sampling due to non-value adding activities and waiting time and trim store, and there is no real-time tracking. This all leads to delay and an inefficient pre-production planning. So the goal was to waste the idle time at trim store, record maintenance, creating a real-time system to monitor the process, decreasing communication gap and the transportation, and to standardize the activities to reduce the waste without any major companies' costs. So the primary data, this is the primary data that I collected, and it was analyzed through these charts. This is from December to March, and the average delay time was about 2 to 3 weeks of every style. This is the data, and to analyze and reach to its root cause analysis was done. This is the brainstorming, and then YY diagram was created, fishbone diagram, and then at last affinity diagram, where I concluded that there is interdepartmental conflicts, miscommunication and poor planning due to less monitoring of pre-production processes. And on the operator side, there is excessive movement, unskilled operators and untrained operators that need to be reduced to reduce the non-value adding activities. So the two solutions were suggested, first for the sampling and then for the planning. For sampling, to eliminate the non-value adding activity, precisely the waiting time at trim store, a value adding activity was proposed, that is a requisition slip at trim store that includes all the items that need to be collected and then recorded on that and then submitted, and then we can issue our items, so that the idle time at trim store and the waiting time can be reduced. And to standardize the data collection at merchant office for better planning and to reduce the communication conflicts, a value addition was proposed, that is a prototype that I proposed. The previous flow of the trim store was the requirements of samples were made and the verbal request at the store was made, requirement was fulfilled, and there was a lot of waiting time that I previously included 8.6 hours per day for 8 people, and the items were collected and back to the sample. According to my suggestion, there was the requirements were filled in the requisition slip, and the slip was then submitted at the store and sent on the WhatsApp group. Challan is then issued and all the data is now collected on the ERP system, and message is now sent on the WhatsApp group to collect the items. So meanwhile, we can work on another style, and the waste time at the trim store is now reduced and items and then collected. This is the requisition slip that was proposed and is now being used there. And on the planning side, a real-time tracking web page was proposed where a prototype was made where we can send messages. There is a communication portal, and there is we can add expected dispatch dates and expected planning. We can enter the expected planning, and we can upload the actual dates on that, and the actual dates are then linked to the expected dates. And whenever there is a delay in any activity, there is a red mark on the time, and so the further processes can be done accordingly to reach the expected dispatch date according to the buyer. So we have a standard way for every merchant, a standard planning way. So this is the web page. We can log into the web page, and then there are brands. Under that there are styles. Under that we can enter the message and then send to different departments. This is the inbox, and then we can again to upload the TNA, we select our brands, then style, then to upload the TNA, this is the expected dispatch date which can be fixed and then submitted. Then to view the actual dates, the same process is followed, and we can enter the upload the actual dates, and since it is linked to the expected dates, if any delay is there, so the red mark will be there. So this is the requisition slips that are being used. Every item for the style is being written is written on that, and no style is left, no item is left, and this is the challan. The implementation was done on the implementation for the web page was done on the ERP system, since the employees are trained to work on that particular system. It was implemented there, and the option to upload the TNA is now recorded in the ERP system itself. The future projection of my project is to now so the future projection of my project is now to upload the requisition slip itself in the ERP, and no physical slip is now recorded there and sent directly to the ERP system. That reduces the waste time, and there is a standard way of maintaining the data, and the data can be maintained, and now we can analyze where the actual major delay is there in the process, and we can now eliminate that delays too. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sania, for this amazing presentation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may I now request the guest of honor, Vikas Gupta, to address the gathering.
Very good afternoon. So firstly, my gratitude for giving me the honor to be here on this very special day. And congratulations to all of you. It's a big day for you. And I think you all need a great round of applause from all of us for great achievement. Well done. While you celebrate, while you enjoy this day, today is also a day for you all to look back and pay your gratitude to the people who have made this possible for you, especially your parents, your professors, your teachers, your canteen wala bhaiya, everybody. You know, we get here, you got here not just by yourself. There are people who have brought you here. Do not forget them. This is a very important day for you to remember. I'm not going to give you too much of a gyan today, but because you have WhatsApp for that, and I'm sure you all have enough of that. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, my journey in life, and hoping whatever I've learned in my 30 years as a first generation entrepreneur, and see if that helps you in any way. Are you okay with that? Yeah? A little bit of Hindi and English will do? Okay. So I was born in Varanasi, and at the age of 8, I went to Calcutta for my school studies. I studied in Calcutta, then at the age of 18, I went to US to pursue my undergrad in computer information systems. And just to let you know, I went to US with no money in my pocket. My parents do not have that kind of money to pay for my tuition. I went with $20 in my pocket into US, but with a desire to do something. And I delivered newspaper for 5 years in America, every day. Rain, shine, snow, 5 years of newspaper every day in the morning to pay for my college. That's how I managed and survived US. And I also used to work weekend jobs every weekend. That was America for me. Then I got a job with Mobil Oil Corporation for their data center in 1992. I got married to my girlfriend that time, now my wife, and I took her there. And but my desire was always to come back to India. This is the country. You know, you value India more when you're away from India. And anybody who doesn't feel this way must go away for some time and come back. They'll know what I'm saying. So when I came back, I wanted to come back. I came back in 1993 with 2 lakh rupees in my pocket and start my journey as an entrepreneur. And that's, is it okay? Yeah, I don't need to pull this. Okay, sorry. So in 1993, I came back with 2 lakh rupees and only with one dream to do something back home and build my business as an entrepreneur. And in 30 years, 28 years rather, this has been my journey of an entrepreneur, which I can share with you. And I've seen everything. I've seen my highs, I've seen my lows, I've seen my success, I've also seen a lot of failures. And I tell you what, I've learned a lot more with my failures than my success. So failures, when you move on with your journey, you will have failures. Don't be disappointed. Believe me, you will look back and you'll be excited and you'll feel good, because those failures are going to teach you a lot more. I'm still learning today. Today I'm determined to build the most, beautiful leather brand in the country and showcase the world what Indian craftsmanship is. That's my vision today, and that's how I've created last 10 years a brand called 360, and I'm working very hard with a lot of you guys and a lot of support from everybody. So my pure thoughts on this as you grow, as you move on to your world, and I'll tell you what has kept me going. And that's all I can share with you, because yes, the pace is moving very fast, the technology is moving, everything is moving, but there's certain things will stay the same. And that's very important for you guys to know. First thing, your work and life balance. Believe me or not, you will have to remember, you will have to manage your work and life balance. This is the most important lesson I learned when I was very young. When I was like you, graduating from my college, I realized that time that your work and life balance is going to be important. You'll have to manage that. And how would you manage that? It's easy said than done. You'll have to manage, first you have to manage yourself. So how do you manage yourself? You have to make sure you're physically good. You have to ensure you are taking good care of your body, your health, your mental health. And you can only do that when you spend time and you discipline yourself. So please don't get excited about the social media, all these big things, and don't let your time go by. Start that early. Start young. Spend time on yourself. Do whatever you can. Walk, yoga, meditation, running, whatever you want to do, whatever you like. But you must do that. That work and life balance will, believe me, I can promise you, and I can write on a piece of paper and sign it for you. If you have done that, you'll manage anything in your life. That will define your success, that 80%. I hope you realize the importance of this, okay? So that's first thing I'll tell you. Work and life balance, or we call it a management, do that. Second most important thing is the art of giving. What do I mean by art of giving? Not just donation, no. Your time to give back something to your community. You know, we as Indians don't do that much. And when you talk about giving, it doesn't mean money all the time. It means your time, going back, doing something for your community, for your society, for your RWAs, for your school, college, anything. You have to take time out and start young. You'll be surprised what it does, what kind of energy, what kind of, positivity it brings in you. We, ultimately, what is our goal? All of us here, to become a beautiful citizen of this country. Keep improvising, keep improving, become a better citizen, make this country better. That's our goal, whether it's your professor, whether it's myself, whether it's you students, you guys are very lucky, very fortunate. You went to one of the finest institute in the country. Not everybody has that. And we all have to work so everybody in this country can have that, and we all have to work at it. So the art of giving is very, very important, and try and do that. Try and see how you can do it. It's not something which is going to happen by just me telling you. You have to start practicing it every day. Spend time, do something which is exciting. Don't go with the thought process that, there's too much politics here, not at all. Go with a very open mind. Go explore, don't be in a rush, enjoy your journey. This whole career, your whole opportunity out there is a journey. Enjoy every bit of it, enjoy every phase of it. Don't just rush at it. You'll love the process, you'll love this journey. It's very exciting. But go with a lot of thought of giving. When you go with the thought of giving, as Sir said, you'll have a tolerance, you'll have everything by the art of giving. And third most important thing, I would say, go with the one attitude, that is to learn. Be a great learner. I'm learning today. I learn from people like you. I have 3 students from Kangra. I learn every day from them. So you must go with the attitude to learn. And your time is to give first. You have a long way to go. Don't be in a rush. Enjoy this journey. Don't get excited about this new unicorns and all this. No, business takes a lot of time. When I was young like you, I knew that this is a journey. It's a generation to build a brand, and I'm prepared. Mentally, physically, I made sure that I'm prepared to handle it. If I'm not, I'm going to crash. So you should go with that mindset. Anything and you're not going to find your sweet spot right away. So take your time. Time is on your side. Let it be 5 years, 4 years, till you find what you're passionate about. A lot of you don't know what you're passionate. You don't know till you go experience. Don't look at big names to work for big companies, big turnovers. Not necessary. Look, everybody is different. Everybody's mindset is different. Everybody's thought process is different. So look at a sweet spot. What is it that gives you a kick? Look at that and find that sweet spot and work for that. Put your energy there, and you will do your well. And for the inspiration, I think, don't go too far. Look at your parents. Look at people around you. There are a lot of good people out there. You think I've achieved whatever I've achieved a little bit in my life without good people around me? No, I'll be lying here. It's the people who has helped me where I am today. So never think, oh, the industry all people are crazy, bureaucrats are crazy, politicians are bad. No, not at all. Do not think that way. When you go, let experience teach you. Make your own conclusion. Don't go by, we have a habit of generalizing. We have a habit of generalizing, saying, oh, all bureaucrats are bad. Oh, do not do that. I've come across some of the most beautiful people when it comes to bureaucrats, when it comes to politicians, some amazing people. And this country is running because of those beautiful people. So be one of those. Country needs it. We all need to work together to make India proud. And that should be our main objective in life. I give you a lot of luck for your next journey. You'll have a lot to learn, but be a beautiful learner. You all look beautiful, great, and love to be here. This is my first time here, enjoying every bit of it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, for your valuable and inspiring words. It will definitely help us in the future. May I now request our guest of honor, Mr. Aditya Pandey, to please come up on the dais and address the gathering.
So yeah, so first of all, I just like to thank everyone who just invited us to be part of this like very beautiful event you all have just displayed, and to all these graduating students, a big congratulations to all of you. You all should be very proud of what you all have put there, like a very beautiful display, all kind of different techniques you guys have showed. That's really tremendous job to all of you. But again, you must all be very proud of yourself. But again, you should be very thankful to your faculties also. Like, we sometimes forget to thank them enough. And Mr. Akash here, who's like trying to bring all the new setups and, in the facility here, so that you guys don't have to compromise on your creativity. That's a very big thing. So I think we should all give all your faculties a very big hand. If you can just stand up and just give them a very big hand. They are doing amazing job, I think, for all of you. I think you guys are just working for yourself, but these faculties, they are working for each one of you. So they are just, you can just count on how much effort they have to put so that you can prepare a display like this. So it's amazing job this NIFT Kangra and whole of NIFT is doing to prepare students and future designers like you yourself. Every time when I come here to NIFT, it's like homecoming for us. Always feel a very nostalgic kind of feeling coming here. So it's all just like it's a movie of how much efforts or what kind of days we had, all those 4 years we had in NIFT, and how it prepared us to face the challenges in the industry. So it's all comes from here. So whenever we go out, we sometimes forget how much NIFT has given us. We always hear people saying that whatever we learn in NIFT and when we go out in the industry, it's totally different. But I would say it's not different. The basics are it's all the same. I know it's very fast-paced and a lot of press is there in the industry. But what you have learned here in NIFT, it will always help you to to make yourself better every day. I'm sure you'll learn there in the industry and a different you'll have a very different kind of experience. But what you have learned here in NIFT will always there with you, and you'll always come back maybe learning more. Maybe you'll meet students like yourself and you'll learn again. Maybe will stay in touch with your faculties and again you'll learn more. Maybe they'll help you if you are stuck somewhere in your way. You'll definitely, I still, after 13 years, I again come back again. I meet my faculties. I just call them anytime I feel any kind of suggestions or directions. I again come back to them, and they are always ready to help me. So again, it's like you guys are passing out from here, but it's not the end. You're going in the industry, but you can again come back again and again and just take directions from all these talented people. So yeah, it's a great place or platform you have here. So just make use of it again, and just use your resources really well. You have all those things which maybe when we were there passing out from NIFT, we didn't have so much of maybe exposure or the social media. It's there with you. Everyone has this platform in your hand, readily available. You can make use of it, in a very different way. Like, if you, like, suppose Instagram, there you can have all those, like you can see what customers, or your clients' feedbacks are. You can actually go and see there, or maybe what your competitors are doing. So that also maybe you can see, and you can learn from them also. So it's a good platform. Just use it. And yeah, I wish you all the luck for your future. I will not make it a very long speech. So yeah, just and congratulations to everyone, and a good job to all the faculties and Sir Akash sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable, inspiring words.
May I now request our guest of honor, Aditya Chaurasia, to come upon the stage and address the gathering.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm also from NIFT Kangra, first batch, textile design department. So I have been this place too and enjoyed this place a lot, studied, learned from our faculty members, Ms. Anunita Rangra, Shipra ma'am, Saurabh sir, Chavi ma'am, and definitely Dinesh Rangra sir at that time. So I have learned all of these things in NIFT Kangra only. And as per my experience, what I say that whatever I have learned here, the basic element of designs, I'll talk about design because I'm only designer. So the designs which we learn about here, the colors which we learn here are actually applying in the industry. Industry is not much different than what we are learning here. It is the matter of how we perceive, how we see the industry. So I'll just give you my brief explanation. I'm currently working in Vardhaman as a senior designer, looking after all exports brand, starting from Gucci, Prada, Zara, H&M, Marks and Spencer, and Gap, Banana Republic, Polo Ralph Lauren. Whatever brand you will talk about, I'm looking after for all export brands. I saw some tech persons talking about Marks and Spencer, T76 program, schoolwear category. So I found that it was very relevant topic which they have chosen. And then there was some person who was talking about Esprit brand and their product line Moroccan crepe and all these 45 viscose product line. So this data can also be shared with textile and fashion department also, because somehow they will get help while in terms of designing their products. So now coming to just a little brief about my journey. I just passed out from here in 2013 and then I joined Vardhaman. And starting from that first day, I joined Vardhaman in 1st July 2013. And till date, I'm working with Vardhaman. I have not left Vardhaman, so it's I must say that the company is giving me much appreciation to my work and design. So that's how I have been here. And I would like to ask you people what you want to know from my side, being your college senior also. So it's a question from my side to you, that what you guys want to know more, because you have already, these guys have already shared their experiences with you guys. So what you guys want to know? Any query and any questions? Anyone? I can see some internal discussions are going on. You can ask me. Okay, so just a little brief, I will say that industry, working in industry, it should be work. I will only suggest this line, that go for your passion, don't go for your majboori. Take sooner or later, but do take your passion. Only do those things which passionate you, ताकि काम नहीं लगे, वो play लगे. That's it. That's all from my side.
Thank you, sir, for providing your gracious presence and kind words. Any guest of honor interested to address the gathering, we welcome you. Welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for letting us be a part of this education era. And a lot have been said, a lot motivation has been given. I just want to say, it's your time now to work. Work is the biggest motivation. It's time to earn fame and name, right? Fame, name, and money. I'm here for procuring few of the students for the companies like Ratan Textile, Podar, and RJ Woodcraft. So anyone who is interested to opt for internship or for getting a job, they can directly contact me, and I'll be helping you guys out here. Thank you.
Thank you, Kartavya, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now request Mr. Dinesh Rangra, Joint Director, NIFT Kangra, to propose a word of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, a big round of applause for the graduating students 2022. You have talked much about creativity. I will sum it up like this. As Einstein once said it, it's creativity is intelligence having fun. So it's not madness. It's intelligence having fun. So whosoever has reached that goal, all of you have reached that goal. So now it is you have to basically do whatever is in your life. I can term it as in whatever field you find pleasure for, do it. Secondly, as you know that India is celebrating its 75th year of independence. So I must assure all of you to contribute a little bit to the nation's growth. So this is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So I invite you to be a part of our celebration when we celebrate the 75th year of independence. So you're all welcome. Since you will be passed out, you will have a reason to come back to the campus. So all of you are welcome during that event. And I thank everybody, the guest of honor, and the dignitaries who are here to witness our graduating batch. And today evening we have fashion show also. So I will request all the dignitaries to be there for the fashion show. And thank you, Director Sir, for organizing such a great event. On the contribution also rests with all the faculty members, without whom this event wouldn't have been successful. So a big round of applause for the faculty members as well. So I shall not be waiting you for lunch. So thank you very much. And I'll request all of you to join us for lunch.
At last, this is the time to proceed for lunch. The arrangements have been done as follows. Lunch arrangements for dignitaries and faculties are done at C1 block ground floor. Lunch arrangements for graduating students and volunteers are done at A wing hostel mess. I request our course coordinator, Mr. Aman Kumar Nagpal, along with the rest of the faculties to join the graduating batch of Bachelors of Fashion Technology NIFT Kangra for a group photograph.
With this, we would like to conclude and declare TECHNOVA 2022 closed. This is Akanksha Mattham.
This is Megha Gop.
And we are signing off. Thank you. A small thing. I request all the faculty members, dignitaries and guests to come up on the stage for a group photograph.